Today, we are going to learn how we can solve problems that involve fractions by using fraction bars. Finn gives the amount of snacks shown to the baseball team's coach every time the team wins a game. So if I look to my right, he gives 5/8 pounds of red licorice and 7/8 pounds of peanuts. We want to find out how many total pounds of snacks does Finn give the coach after the baseball team wins 3 games. So here we have a multiple step problem. First, we have to figure out what the hidden question is and what we need to do first to solve the problem. I need to first find how many pounds of red licorice and peanuts Finn gives the coach when the baseball team wins a game. So since we have to find the amount, we need to add these two together. So we are going to add 5/8 plus 7/8 to show the total pounds of snacks. And when I do that, here's my bar diagram. P stands for the total pounds of snacks. We don't know what it is yet because we have not added. And then down here we have our 5/8 of licorice and our 7/8 of peanuts. So when we add those two together, we're going to get the P on top. Our equation that we write for this is 5/8 plus 7/8 equals 12/8, or if we fix that, 8 goes into 12 one time. We write our denominator and find the difference. So we end up with 1 4/8 or 1 1/2. But for right now, we're just going to keep it as 4/8. For the second step of the problem, since the question asks that we have to find after they win 3 games how many snacks, we need to take T, which is our total amount that we're going to get, and we need to multiply 3 times 1 4/8, or we can add 1 4/8 3 times. So if we multiply that, here it has broken it apart into 3 times 1 and 3 times 4/8. But when we have done it in practicing, we did 3 times 1 4/8. We changed this to 3/1 times, put your denominator, and then we multiplied 1 times 8, which is 8, and then added 4 more, which would be 12. I'm going to write that in pen, not highlighter for you. And we just multiplied across. 3 times 12 is 36/8, and we just have to fix it. 8 goes into 36 4 times. Put your denominator. 8 times 4 is 32. 36 minus 32 is 4. So we end up with 4 4/8, or 4 1/2 pounds. So basically today, what you're going to be doing is creating bar diagrams for your problems, which I know you have become experts at. So our answer is that Finn gives the coach 4 4/8 pounds of snack after the team wins 3 games. Now look at the bottom of the page where it says convince me. It wants to know, would the answer change if 12/8 were used instead of 1 4/8 pounds to calculate the number of pounds of snacks Finn gives the coach after 3 wins? And then we need to explain. So they're just basically asking us if we don't change it into 1 4/8, if we just left it as 12/8 and then multiplied by 3, would it change? Well, let's try it out. So we have 12/8 times 3/1. If you look right above this, this is exactly what we did before, because if we have 1 4/8 times 3, all we did was change 3 to 3/1, and then our 1 4/8, we kept our 8, and then we multiplied 1 times 8, which is 8 plus 4 is 12. So that's exactly what we did. So no, it would not change, because 12/8 equals 1 4/8. Therefore, you would get the same answer. We're just a little ahead of what they're already trying to teach us. Let's do the guided practice together. Colton and his classmates are making maps of the streets where they live. we want to find out how much green and black felt does his teacher need to buy so 25 students can make each map. We need to draw bar diagrams and write equations to represent the problem. Okay, we're going to draw our bar diagrams down in this open space that I have right here. So it's asking us for how much green and black felt. So I'm going to go over here in my table. So for each map, green we need 4/6 of a sheet of green, and for the black we need 5/6. So the first thing we need to do is we need to add these together to find out how much of each map we're going to need of each of those colors. So in my bar diagram, I'm going to put a C on top for colors. That's just the variable that I'm using. Then I'm going to add 4/6, and we're going to add 5/6. Okay, so our equation is going to be 4/6 plus 5/6 equals C. And C is going to equal 9/6. Or 1, put your denominator, 1 and 3/6. Okay, next, for my second bar diagram, I know that we need 1 and 3/6 of the two colors, but if we look up at the top, we have 25 students. So I have to multiply that by 25. So that's going to be a really long bar diagram, or what you can do is, for my second bar diagram, I'm just going to use green. So here's my bar diagram. Okay, I'm not going to make it that long. On top, I'm going to put T for total. You can really pick any variable that you want when you're using variables. And we need to multiply 1 and 3/6 25 times. So I'm just going to, instead of writing 1 and 3/6 25 times, I'm just going to draw 26 lines. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And this just shows me that it would be 1 and 3/6 26 times. Now I'm going to write my equation. So I have 1 and 3/6 times 25 equals T. I'm going to go ahead and do this work up here where I have a little bit more room. Okay, so I'm just kind of extending it because I've ran out of room. So I've got 1 and 3/6 times 25. That is going to equal 1 and 3/6. Put your 6. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9/6 times 25 over 1. So I'm going to be creative with how I use my room because I don't have a lot of room on here. So I'm going to do 25 times 9. 5 times 9 is 45. Regroup my 4. I have 9 times 2, which is 18, plus 4 more is 22. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see, but it's 22. So I have 225 over 6. Now, in order to fix that, I need to divide. So I'm going to use the space underneath this 2, even though this is not the question that it's asking for, just so I can divide to show you. So I have 6. How many times does 6 go into 225? Well, 6 goes into 22 3 times. 6 times 3 is 18. We subtract and get 4. Bring down my 5. 6 goes into 45 7 times. 6 times 7 is 42. And I have a remainder of 3. So my answer is, and this is what it's asking me right here, how much green and black sheets of felt does the teacher need to buy? And I'll explain. Well, I have my answer right here, which is 37. So she needs to buy 37. But then we also need to use this remainder, which is 3. And our denominator is 6. 37 and 3/6 sheets. I'm going to write that in black too so you can see it. 37 and 3/6 sheets of felt. And for my explanation, well, we added first, then we multiplied, by 25, which equaled 37 and 3/6 sheets of felt. That's how much she needs to buy in order to make 25 maps. I know this might be hard to see, so make sure that you're listening so you can get all the numbers correct. Go ahead and do the independent practice problem on 575. When you're done, come show me and I will pair you up with someone to go over your answers and to work on the back.